As brands move from bricks to clicks, Brand Aid provides expert resources and insights. Welcome to the Brand Aid video conversation.
You know, restaurants, you don't necessarily go someplace to eat in a restaurant.
What about a physical product?
Yeah.
I mean, in the case I was discussing with you.
Products are tougher.
Let's say wine,
yeah,
you
sure.
know? I mean, you don't have, it's something that's distributed physically. It's not a service as opposed to like going to a restaurant.
Well, I mean, if you can get something on Amazon, you can get it in every state, even though you may just make your products in one state. I mean, the internet allows you to sell to all people in all 50 states, let alone internationally.
Well, and I think that's what's interesting to me about this Three Palms case is the fact that they were talking about what they call the virgin territory. Right. In other words, there's the territory where the first user was in Scottsdale, the state of Arizona. Mm. Then there was the 6 states in which the junior user came into. But then it raised the question, who had the right, or did the second company have the right to continue expansion and also lay claim to the rest of the United States, despite there was a senior user? And that was really the bit of an interesting part of the decision, because they actually used language saying that the senior person, because he hadn't really made sincere efforts, or they didn't believe the evidence he put on as to intent to expand around the United States, that he had abandoned the right to do so, basically.
Right, basically, yeah. Goods are much more difficult. I mean, there's no doubt about it. In terms of, you can ship into every state, you're basically doing business in every state. And if people in a state can get something, then you've got a nationwide business of selling goods everywhere, it seems to me.
Well, I tend to agree with you, and but I haven't seen anything legally that kind of really decides that.
The cases usually dwell on the technicalities of doing business in that state. You know, do you have a physical, trying to serve the simple part of it, serving a lawsuit, and getting jurisdiction, whether or not the person had an active website or a passive website. But if they have an active website where you can actually go in and there's a shopping cart and you can give your credit card, you would like to think they're doing business in every state, whether they have a physical presence there or not. I mean, there's so many issues that happen. So taxing, for example. I mean, all the various sales taxes, which is just finally getting sorted out. That when a California company, when your Oregon company sells to
me in
California, should you pay California? Why shouldn't you pay California sales tax? I mean, and it's finally getting sorted out now. So it's an emerging area. You would have thought there'd be better law on this, but I think the overall lesson is, I think you have to be prudent and assume that just because somebody else is in some other state, you can get away with, if you will, selling the same goods under the same mark. I think the lesson is you should always opt to come up with your own unique mark.
Yeah, and register it.
And file to register it, absolutely.